right. Hawks are up 1-0 at the moment. We are 13 minutes left in the first period. Sorry, it was a little bit of a scramble here to get my gear all set up as there was no ice cut. So back behind the net. Alexa trying to stop it as it goes up towards the blue line. Plus back there in position. Good stop there by Kendall. Kendall goes up the board, bounces it off the wall on the near side. We are in close quarters here. Caden with the puck. Okay, Robbins racing. Greta with the puck in the center ice. Kicked in by Livonia. Going to go back behind Emily. Off the far side wall. Emily uses a kick save over to the corner. Bust back over to Greta on the near side. Coming up the wall. Caden tips it. Ends up poking it up the line. Bounces it in the zone. Puck scoring was done by Maddie. Assisted by Brookie. Puck comes over to the near side wall, takes a nice little bounce, just goes past Bus, down towards Emily. Greta pushes it over towards Bus. As you can see, I am right on top of the fans. We got 2 rows of bleachers here, and then me. Emily kick saves that one back behind her. Up the far side wall and cleared out of the zone. Livonia regroups at center ice. Mango with the good pressure. Puck goes back down behind Emily, up the far side wall. Gia chipping it up the board, stopped by Livonia at the hash marks. Grabbed up by Tater Dumpty. Tater pushes it forward. Goes for a line change. Back here into the Livonia's zone. Good Malachi crunch there in the middle. Carmen passes it over towards Brookie. Lost the handle of it. Battle at center ice. Knuckleball goes down onto Emily. She kick saves it over towards Carmen. Carmen goes up the near side wall towards Brookie. Brookie lets it go into center ice. Grabbed up by Livonia. Up the near side wall. Bouncing around. Picks up by Carmen. Swatted into the zone. Into the corner with Jocelyn. Trying to get it up towards Brookie. And Brookie grabs it. Comes up the boards. Tips it over towards Jess. Took a funky bounce around her. Livonia dumps it in. Carmen tips it into the corner. Up the near side boards. Brookie pushes it over towards Joss. Outlet pass to Jess. She dusts it off around one. Carries it into the near side circle, centering it up. Hawks going for a line change. Dumped into the far side corner. Bus comes back, drops it for Alexa. Alexa ends up giving it back to Bus on the near side. Bus comes across the blue line, goes through to the slot, hands it off to Sizzle. Sizzle takes the shot on net. Livonia grabs it, goes back behind their net and over to the far side corner again. Brownie grabs it just outside the zone, throws it back at Alexa, and that is offside. Demi at the dot, along with Caden and Kendall. Up the far side wall, Bus stops it. Livonia ends up grabbing it and pushing it across the blue line. Into center ice, dropped back down. Alexa grabs it, bounces it off the wall. Demi picks it up, trying to get around a couple, but goes through heavy traffic. Livonia brings it down low. Centering pass broken up by Bus. Bus goes up the far side wall, just out of Kendall's reach. Alexa bounces it off, picked up by Livonia. Livonia goes back into their own zone. Demi stops at outlet, picked up at center ice by Caden, carrying it down low. Kick back into center ice as the Hawks are going for a line change. Greta picks it up, got a full head of speed. Couldn't quite get through all the traffic. Comes over the near side wall, dumps in down low. Pass over towards Mango. Up the near side wall, Gia putting some pressure. It's almost like she's coming into your living room. I'm that close to the ice today. Up the near side wall, just past Mango. All the way down. Gia coming through the middle. Ends up going to the far side wall. Grabbed up by Livonia. Coming up the near side. Taken away by Tater Dumpty. Gets it over towards Carmen. Livonia goes back down to their circle. Going back. Picked up by Tater. Gets it up the boards. Livonia ends up sending it in off the referee. Mango coming up the near side wall. Avoids the crunch into the wall. Sends the puck down into the far side corner. Jess tips it. Maddie picks it up. Maddie dusts it off around one. Gets it back towards Alexa. Alexa lines up. Takes a shot. Goes off a stick. Maddie trying to take another shot. Comes in the corner. Brookie trying to help out. Goes back behind the net. Tipped back towards Maddie. Maddie trying to dust it off and go through some legs, but picked up by Livonia. Livonia comes away with it. Comes through center ice, sends it over to the far side. Josh takes the girl, cuts her off, picks that pocket, grabs the puck, gets it up towards Jess. Jess goes around one, coming through center ice. Crosses the blue line with it, tried to shovel it off towards Brookie, but taken away by Livonia. Up the far side wall, stopped by Josh. Up towards the blue line, ends up coming back into center ice. Brookie gets it over to Alexa on the near side. Alexa gets past center ice, gets a pass up towards Maddie. Ends up going into the near side wall. Lots of sticks flying. Sizzle coming in here, trying to help out. Got 4 Hawks girls in one spot. Livonia ends up going down into the Hawk zone, goes through the slot. Emily kicks it over to the near side corner. Up the near side wall, here comes Jocelyn. Jocelyn full head of speed coming through the wall line. Back behind the net. Over to the far side corner. Still with the puck. Jocelyn takes a tumble. Sizzle battling for it. Up the far side wall. No icing. Goes all the way back down. Bus picks it up. Sends it off the boards towards Philly. Couldn't get it through all the traffic. Going down low. Picked up by Jocelyn again. Ends up coming up the near side. Jocelyn goes high up off the glass. Going all the way down. No icing being called. Stopped at the blue line. Philly kicks it around. Grabbed up by Sizzle. By Brownie. Her centering pass over towards Greta gets tipped and goes high out of play into the player's bench. Got 4:56 here to go. Demi at the dot. Kendall, Caden, Bus, Greta. Puck goes down, goes over to Caden. Caden trying to dust it off and go through traffic. Tipped over towards Greta, who puts it over to the near side wall. Kept in by Bus. Goes into the near side corner. Tipped back up to Bus, top of the circle. She puts it off a skate. Comes all the way back. Separates the player from the puck. Comes over to the near side wall. Bounces it up towards Demi. But Caden picks it up at the blue line. Caden drops it off for Demi. Over to Kendall in the near side corner. Loose puck. Grabbed up by Demi. Dropped to Bus. Putting it through traffic. Almost got kicked into by Caden. Livonia ends up going up that far side. Back in through the middle. Puck ends up getting poked away and over to the far side wall, picked up by Greta. Greta goes around Caden, drops it for Kendall at the blue line. Kendall lost the handle of it, top of the circle, comes back into center ice, picked up by Tater. Tater comes over to Carmen. Carmen waits for everybody to get on side, carries it across the blue line. Got pushed into the wall a little heavily. Picked up by Joss at the top of the slot, carries it over to the far side hash marks. Shot gets tipped and goes high up in the air, coming up the near side wall. Picked off by Caden or Kendall, whichever one. Only about a 4-foot difference. Carmen goes back over to Joss. Joss sends it up to Tater at the blue line. Tater carries it in. Tater back behind the goal line, lost the handle of it. Pass up the middle, deflected there by Mango. Ends up going over to the far side. Tipped at center ice. Carmen touched that one just inside the blue line, and that is offside. Tater, Mango, Gia. Livonia trying to send it up. Stopped at the center ice by Gia. Carrying it down low. Into the corner. Mango picks it up. Drops it back for Bus. Bus top of the circle. Dusts it off. Drops it for Mango. Mango walking it around. Gets a pass over towards Alexa. Alexa at the near side. Goes off the near side post. Puck gets pushed all the way over to the far side hash mark. Stopped by Bus. Kicking it to herself. Trying to find somebody to pass to. Gets it down towards Maddie. Maddie coming around the net. Looking for somebody. Centers it up. Picked up by Livonia on the far side circle. Coming across. Stopped by Bus just inside the blue line. Carried in backwards. Right in front of the referee, and that's not called. I mean, that's a slash if I've ever seen one. Puck over in the near side corner. Hawks on the power play here. 2:19 in the first. Up by 1. Back to Jess. Jess goes back to Greta. Greta keeps it at the blue line. Dusts it off around 1. Goes through the slot. Puts it down low. Ends up going up to the near side corner. Grabbed up by Jess. Jess blows a tire. Back down low towards Maddie. Maddie from the knees puts it over towards Brookie. Up the far side wall. Livonia ends up dumping it down low. Picked up by Greta. Up the near side boards to Maddie. Maddie one times it over to Jess. Jess carries it across the blue line. Drops it for Maddie. Maddie walks it in. Shot goes just left of the net and all the way around, and Carmen's going to have to pick it up at center ice. Drops it off the wall. Greta picks it up, sends it in, swatted out of the midair by the Livonia. Hawks going for a line change. We got 30 seconds left on the power play. Sizzle sends it off the near side board. Philly grabs it, ends up getting it over to Brownie. Sizzle grabs the loose puck, dropped it for Philly. Philly walks it in, takes the shot, gets tipped over to the near side corner. Up along the boards. Philly knocking it back behind the net, picked up by Livonia. 2 seconds left on the power play. Over. Back to 5-on-5. Wraparound shot there by Joss. Off the far side post. Off the goalie's face mask. Back up to the slot. Alexa putting it down. Goes off of Brownie's boots. Up along the near side boards. Brownie picking it up. Gets it over towards Alexa. Alexa at the blue line. Sends it down towards Sizzle at the hash mark. Sizzle goes back behind the net. Over towards Joss on the near side. Joss turns around. Carries it back down low. Up the boards towards Philly. Philly comes rushing in. pushing it back down towards the goal line. Picked up by Jocelyn, back towards Philly. Philly putting it back to the hash marks. Josh grabs it, sends it back up to the top of the circle. Alexa's shot gets kicked over to the near side corner. End of your first period. And I need a breather off of that one. All right, now we go for an ice cut, and I can actually get myself situated here.
She doesn't know. Hey, this is Tater, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying our game. We're about to get pretty litty on this ice. The girls and I will be buzzing. Yeah. And Yaya, if you're watching this, or Papa, if you're watching this, I love you guys very much. But yeah, we're about to lock in and get this dub.
All right, I'm not exactly sure what she just said, so hopefully it was PT-13. All right, coming back, getting ready for second period action. Got the team waiting for the Zamboni to finish up. Due to tournament regulations, the ice gets cut every 2 periods. Huh? I think a lot of you are. So we will not have any more stoppage. We will continue going through. I learned my mistake. I had a failed experiment yesterday where I handed the wireless mic off, and unfortunately it was picked up by the wrong individual, and I apologize for that experiment going haywire. Maybe we'll try it again and find a different candidate at some time. All right, Hawks are taking the ice, getting ready for second period action. All right, this is Frank the announcer coming to you live from between the blue lines and right on top of the glass here today. Hawks are taking on Livonia Knights. Hawks in their white jerseys, a home team. Will be going left to right this second period. Parents are filing back in after getting a nice warm beverage of choice. Hopefully everybody at home is enjoying the broadcast. Brownie at the dot gets stuck in a pile of water, ends up getting pushed around, lost the handle of it. Back towards Alexa. Alexa sends a pass up, tipped away by Livonia at the blue line. Sent back in, and that is a whistle and offside. Quite a bit of water on the ice right now. Hopefully it doesn't impact us too much, but puck comes back to Alexa up the far side wall. Come on through. People are so nice and kind and wanting to not get in the way of the broadcast, but definitely take your seat and enjoy. Josh's shot goes off of Brownie's noggin. Ends up coming back towards Sizzle on the near side. Stopped in a pile of water, centered up towards Brownie. One-time shots just underneath the goalie. Hello and welcome to Mr. Collins. Thank you for joining us this morning. Mr. Collins right on the glass, giving the bird's eye view. Got Demi at the dot, up towards Bus on the far side wall, back down towards Kendall. Tipped away. Caden grabs it back behind the net. Oh, big on check by Demi. It stops in the slot. Emily touches it.
You don't really see that happen every day.
Demi going to the box for a interference call. Trying to get things situated here. Brownie trying to get an explanation. Now the Livonia coach wants an explanation of the call. Whistle blown. Tater at the dot. Gets stuck in a pile of water. Back up the far side wall. Livonia sends it down. Went off of Emily, blocks it. Loose puck in the slot. Ends up reaching down, covering it up. Tater, Dumpty, Mango, Greta, and Bus. Loose puck. Shot gets tipped, goes back behind Emily, up the wall. Tipped away there by Greta. This water is all over the place. Blocked shot there by Tater. Back behind the net. On the net, back behind Emily. Sizzle comes out with Gia, Jocelyn, and Alexa. Gia at the dot. Goes back to Livonia. Goes to the top of the slot. Blocked there by Sizzle. Top of the circle. Kicked away back up to the blue line. Livonia walking it through. Kick save there by Alexa, or by Emily. Sends it into the players' bench. Sizzle picks it up, puts it up to the top of the slot, takes a shot off the ankle, ends up coming around to the nearest side, going through the slot. Emily reaches down, covers it up. Jess and Brookie coming out. Got 34 seconds left on the penalty kill. Alexa and Jocelyn stay out there. Brookie pushing it forward, grabbed up at the top of the slot circle, tipped in front, picked up by Jocelyn. Jocelyn sends it off the wall and all the way out. Ends up going on net. Goalie reaches down, covers it up.
Yeah, he plays. See him last night.
Rookie at the dot. Drops the puck. 6 men on the ice, not called. Ends up going all the way back. Emily stops it in the corner. Jocelyn's going to pick it up. Stop, change direction. Goes down to one knee. Livonia all over it. We got 5 seconds left on the penalty kill. Shot goes down. Emily catches it in the glove. 1 second left.
Changes all the time.
Yeah, that too.
Maddie at the dot wins it over towards Josh. Josh goes up the wall. Penalty's now over. Rookie taps it. Grabbed up by Livonia. And pass on Livonia. Maddie at the dot with Jess, Brookie, Carmen, and Greta. Greta goes back behind the goal line, grabs the puck, shovels it around towards Jess at the near side corner. Livonia walking the goal line with it. Outlet pass up to the point, off the mark. Jess chasing after it, putting some pressure. Keeps her in the corner. Up the wall, taken away there by Brookie. Goes back behind the net. Up the near side wall. Brookie carrying it around. Top of the circle, goes through the slot. Shot. Oh, just goes near side. Livonia comes away with it on the far side. Trying to get the outlet pass. Broken up there by Greta. Keeps it in the zone. Bouncing back behind at the blue line. Livonia on the rush. Goes wide. Up the far side. Carmen with the puck. Sends it up towards Brookie. Back into center ice. Tipped away there by Sizzle. Comes over into your living room. Into the Hawk zone. Emily catches that one in the glove. Stops the clock at 10:56. Getting some fresh legs out there. Brownie comes to the dot. Wins it over to the near side wall. Livonia grabs it from the top of the circle. Tipped in front of Emily. Kicked away. Goes back behind her. Brownie putting her against the wall. Picked up by Alexa. Goes up the far side wall towards Philly. Taps it out of the zone. Livonia sends it into their bench. Puck comes over the near side. Top of the circle. Shot on Emily. Blocker save. Plus puts it up towards Brownie. Brownie sends it over towards Philly. Philly chases it and carries it across the blue line. Back up to Alexa at the top of the circle. Down low towards Philly. Philly backhand shot. Kicked away at the last second. Up the far side wall. Livonia trying to send it through traffic. Back over to the far side. Brownie puts it through the middle. Grabbed up by Livonia. Puck comes up. Bus is going to go back. Grab it just before the blue line or goal line. Gets it over towards Philly at the hash marks. Philly takes a tumble. Goes through the slot. Picked up by Alexa. Alexa goes back behind Emily. Drops it for Bus. Bus carries it up. Up the far side wall. Takes a funky bounce. Top of the circle. Shot goes down low. Emily kick saves it over. Picked up by Bus, comes up the near side wall, dusts it off around one. Coming into your living room, goes across the blue line, carries it down low, picks it back up behind the net, trying to get it over to the far side wall. Demi grabs it, puts it through the middle. Sizzle swats at it, picks it up, carries it down low again, circles back around, drops it for Carmen. Carmen comes speeding through that far side wall, lost the handle of it at the hash marks, picks it back up in the corner. Battling for it. Centering pass, a little bit off the mark. Livonia sends it out. Jocelyn tips it at the blue line, grabs it at the center ice, pushes it back up towards Caden. Kendall trying to pick it up, carries it down low, puts it across the bow. Livonia's outlet pass. Going to have the distance, and that is an icing call. Demi at the dot. Livonia wins this one back. He's back up to Jocelyn at the slot. Takes a shot. Blocker saved over to the far side corner. Kendall puts it on net. Tipped back up towards Joss at the top of the slot. Ends up coming back into center ice. Grabbed up by Carmen. Carmen trying to send a pass up. Picked off by Livonia. Livonia carries it across the blue line. Goes down low. Emily makes sure he goes behind the net. Into the far side hash marks. Going through the slot, all the way over to the near side wall. Another pass across the bow. Kendall trying to push it up towards Demi. Demi pushes it up to the blue line, taken away by Livonia. Livonia walks it in, takes a shot. Emily catches that one in the glove. Puck ends up going back behind the net. Into the corner. Off the near side wall. Centering pass over to Tater Dumpty. Lost the handle of it. Pushed up towards the blue line. Bus stops it. Picked back up by Livonia. Livonia circles back around. Blocked there by Mango. Tater takes that one off his shoulder. Livonia trying to go through traffic. Kicked away by Greta. Center ice. Ends up going into the far side corner. Bus pushes it around to the near side. Taken away by Greta. Greta lost the handle of it in the corner. Comes up the near side wall. Bounces it off the glass. Not going to have the distance. Goes back into Livonia's zone. They go back behind their net. Good pressure there by Tater. Goes through the slot just out of Brookie's reach. Kept in at the blue line. Bus takes a wallop. Down low. Brookie loses the handle of it in the corner. Up the far side hash marks. Picked up by Jocelyn. Carrying it down low. Back behind the net. Picked up by Brookie. Brookie gets it back up to Alexa. Alexa sends it over towards Jess. Jess taps it into the corner. Jocelyn picks it back up. Trying to center it up, but Livonia dives on the top of the puck. Up the far side wall. Brookie drops it over towards Maddie. Maddie trying to put it down. Goes off of a body and back up here. Alexa comes into your living room. Gets a pass over towards Maddie. Taps it. Back into the Hawk zone. Picked up by Jocelyn. Sends up over to far side Livonia. Livonia circling around. Drops it off the boards. Picked back up. Goes back behind the net. Shoveled up towards Brookie. Pushes it up towards Jess. Jess grabs up that loose puck. Carries it across the blue line. Centering pass. Tipped over to the near side corner. Picked back up by Maddie. Maddie cycling it around. Drops it for Carmen. Carmen comes back behind the net. Draws the tripping penalty. Touched by Livonia. Hawks going on the power play. Philly at the dot with Sizzle and Brownie. Greta. Brownie gets it over to Greta. Off of her skates and out of the zone. Hawks got to regroup. Carmen picks the puck up. Puts it up towards Sizzle at the blue line. Sizzle carries it in. Drops it for Carmen. Carmen at the near side hash. Gets it over to Greta. Top of the slot. Carries it over to the far side. Down low to Brownie. Brownie gets it over to Philly on the near side. Philly walks it around. Puts it through the middle. Backhand shot by Sizzle. Goes over to the goalie and she drops down. Covers it up. Can you stick handle somewhere else, please? Philly wins it over to Brownie. Brownie top of the circle. Shot goes wide of the net. Up the far side wall, kept in by Carmen. Carmen in the corner, circling it around, pushes it back over to Brownie. Brownie walks the blue line, gets it over to Greta. Greta drops it down towards Philly, lets it go back behind the net. Sizzle going to try to get there. Picks the puck up, leaves it for Brownie. Brownie over to Carmen. Carmen over to Greta, top of the slot. Takes it over towards Philly. Philly dusts it off around 1, carries it down to the hash marks, drops it back up to Greta. Greta, top of the circle, takes a shot, gets blocker saved over to the far side hash marks, picked up by Carmen. Carmen and Brownie press the girl up against the wall. Picked up by Brownie. Brownie walks it in, takes a shot, point-blank shot, another rebound, loose puck, ends up going into the corner, picked up by Philly. Got 10 seconds left. Brownie with the puck. Over to Philly. Philly takes a shot, goes off a shin pad. Bounces it off the wall, takes a funky bounce, comes into your living room. Alexa stops it at the blue line. Hawks doing another power play again. There's another penalty coming up on Livonia. Oh, no, guess not. It was just a delayed offside. I thought he had his arm up for a penalty, but I guess it was delayed offside. Caden gets it up towards Bus. Bus carries it down. Kicked out of the zone. Bus is going to come back, pick up the puck. Bus looks up. Hits Demi right in your living room. Lost the handle of it at center ice. Livonia pushing to the blue line. Bus tipping it back up towards Caden. Caden taps it in down low. Got 2:50 left here in the second period. Loose puck comes back into the Hawk zone. Going to be grabbed up by Bus behind the goal line. Up the near side wall, picked up by Livonia. Tapped over by Caden towards Kendall. Lost the handle of it. Livonia keeps it out of the zone. Dumps it back in. Go for a delayed offsides. Bus picks it up, sends it off the wall. Picked up by Kendall. Kendall trying to push it up forward towards the blue line. Livonia drops it in down low. Demi steals that one. Picks the puck up, sends it up towards Caden. Can't get it out of the zone. Tapped away, picked up by Bus. Bus pushing it forward towards Caden. Kendall picks up the loose puck. Gets the handle of it finally on the far side hash marks. Puck ends up coming back. Jocelyn battling, grabs it, comes up near side into your living room and down into the Livonia zone. Back behind the net. Mango goes in the near side corner with it, holding on to the puck. Back behind the net. Up to the far side wall. Stopped by Carmen. Picked up by Gia. Back towards Gia. Pushed down low by Tater. Mango puts it into the corner. Mango picks it up. Sends it up the boards. Carmen's going to stop it. Put it back down low towards Mango. Mango in the corner. Livonia goes off the wall. Up the near side, stopped by Greta. Carries it back into the Hawk zone. Gets it over towards Carmen. Carmen hits Tater. Tater Duffy carries it across the blue line, takes a shot, goes backside of the goal. Up the near side, grabbed up by Greta, puts a shot on net. Goalie was able to just reach the glove out and stop it. Stopping the clock at 35.
Frank, turn your camera.
Everybody sees you on the screen. Say hello to all your fans, Jay.
Hold my sign.
Maddie comes to the dot with Brookie and Jess. Brookie carries it into the corner, sends it back behind the net. Melee in the far side corner. Comes up the far side wall. Stopped by Maddie, picks it up. Top of the circle, puts a shot just over the top. Picked up by Brookie. Brookie back to Greta. Greta has a hard time handling it. And the puck's going to come back. We've got 2 seconds left. Over to Alexa on the far side, and that's the end of your second period.
Way to go, girls.
Really should have biked out.
I got an extra one. You want it?
For the game. I'm like, for the game.
All right, starting the third period. Frank, the announcer, coming to you live from between the blue lines. Right on top of the glass here this morning.
I don't know. It's not it.
Hawks in their white jerseys going right to left this period. Emily makes her way back to the net. Crowdy comes up to the dot. Livonia grabs control, sends it over to Greta. Greta picks the puck up, comes into your living room, sends it deep down into the Livonia zone. Up the far side wall, Bus steps up. Puck goes up in the air, grabbed up by Sizzle. Livonia comes back out. Livonia on the rush. Good check there, or a poke check there by Greta. Ends up going down behind the net. Livonia player.
Needed every inch of credit for each there.
Yeah. Pushed up towards the blue line. Tipped over to the far side corner. Jocelyn's going to go battle for it. Picked up by Demi. Demi grabs the puck. Tipped away. Loose puck in front of the Emily there. Grabbed up by Carmen. Carmen comes up the far side wall. Shoves it back into center ice. Grabbed up by Livonia. Tipped into the far side corner. Jocelyn goes off the far side wall. Goes down low. Swatted away. Picked up by Joss. Joss bounces it off the boards towards Caden. Picked up by Livonia. Pickpocket there by Caden. Caden walks it in. Takes the shot. Chest goes off the pads and up the near side wall. Carmen trying to send it over to the far side. Ends up coming back into the Hawk zone. Picked up by by Demi. Demi drops it for Carmen. Carmen's fast over towards Joss on the far side hash marks. Joss turns around, sends it up the boards, picks up down low, off the far side post. Comes out of the zone. Hawks get a full line change. Comes up the near side wall. Icing being called. Tater Dumpty at the dot, wins it over towards Gia. Gia carries it down to to the bottom of the circle, walks it in, puts a shot on net. Goalie is right there to save it. Whistle blown. Tater wins it over to the near side wall. Livonia picks it up. Tater knocks it back down low. Mango trying to get there. Puck ends up coming back. Going to go on to Emily. Emily serves it up towards Alexa. Alexa pushes it up to Mango. Mango's going to carry it across the blue line. Top of the circle. Dropping it for Tater. Back to Mango in the corner. Alexa steps up. Circle. Takes the shot. Goes behind the net and over to the far side hash marks. Bus gets there at the far side hash. Tipping it down low. Goes through the slot. Picked up by Livonia. Picked away by Alexa at the blue line. Livonia pushes it over to the far side wall. Bus stops it. Keeps it out of the zone. Mango's going to go over to the far side. Play that 50-50 puck. Livonia settles the puck. Carries it through center ice. Pushes it up to the blue line just out of the reach. Alexa's going to go into the hash marks. Pick it up. Goes back behind Emily. Bounces it off the wall towards Greta. Greta comes up. Dusts it off around one. Lost the handle of it. Picks it back up. Goes back behind the net. Over to Alexa on the near side. Alexa looking up ice. Trying to get a pass up towards Brookie, who got taken down. Tripping penalty coming up on Livonia. Yeah, you tripped her, girl. Come on. Go to the bench. I love it when the players look around saying, what did I do? In the far side corner face-off, power play. Got Maddie at the dot along with Brookie on the far side, Jess on the near side. Brookie gathers up the puck. Centering pass gets blocked by Livonia and sent on towards Emily. Gets a pass over towards Carmen. Carmen pushes it up towards Brookie at center ice. Brookie goes in through center. Gathers the puck back again. Carries it down low behind the net. Pushes it back up to Greta. Greta gets it over towards Carmen. Carmen walks it in, top of the circle, puts it down low. Gets tipped and goes over to the far side corner. Corralled up by Maddie. Maddie in the far side corner. Dusting it off. Coming through the face-off dot. Puts it off the near side or far side post. Comes up the wall and out of the zone. Carmen's coming back. And they grab it just inside the Hawk zone. We got 11 minutes to go. Brookie leaves it at center ice. Livonia drops it right back down. Emily stops it. Gets it over to Carmen. Carmen looking up ice. Puts it up towards the blue line. Kept in by Livonia. Sent back down. Greta picks it up. Decides to continue up the far side wall. Carried it across the blue line. Dumps it in down low. Picked it back up behind the goal line. Philly with the puck. Backhand shot. Sizzle with it. Looking for somebody. Drops it to Joss at the top. Kept in by Alexa. Alexa gets it over to the near side for Philly. Philly goes through the middle. Off the mark. Alexa puts a shot down on net. Picked up by Brownie. Ends up going over to the far side hash marks. Tipped back down low, just out of Brownie's reach. And you don't see that very often. Jocelyn at the blue line. Sends it over to Alexa. Alexa back to Josh. Josh over to the Philly on the near side. Philly crosses the blue line, top of the circle with it. Centering pass over towards Sizzle. Ends up going over to the far side corner, up the wall. Livonia comes in out of their zone, drops it in down low. Penalty's over. Philly grabs the puck along the near side wall, pushing it forward towards Caden. Caden centering it up towards Philly. Philly backhand shot. Backhand attempt there by Caden. Caden with it over to Demi. Demi takes the shot and puts it in the back of the net. Excuse me. Demi from Caden. Hawks add to their lead at 9-14. Demi at the dot with Caden and Kendall. Livonia grabs it, comes across the blue line with it. Top of the circle, shot good, deflected by Emily into the near side corner. Bus trying to go back behind the net. Picked up by Livonia, swatted back down behind the goal line. Livonia with the puck, picked away by the Hawks. Shot goes across the bow over to the far side wall. Trying to go through traffic, picked up by Bus on the far side wall. Bus is going to carry it through center ice. Pushed it down low. Goalie reaches down, covers it up. Stopping the clock at 8:42. Tater circling around before she heads to the dot, goes down. Picked up by Livonia in the slot. Up the far side wall, stopped by Josh. Josh sends it back down low. Over to the near side hash marks. Gia trying to poke at it. Ends up coming out of the zone, picked up by Jocelyn in your living room. Carries it along the blue line, gets it over towards Tater Dumpty. Carries it across the blue line. Lost the handle of it. Gets it over to Mango. Mango carries it down behind the goal line. Back behind the net. Bounces it off the wall towards Carmen. Carmen back down to Mango. Mango at the near side hash marks. Livonia grabs the puck, comes out of the zone. Pushing it down forward. Grabbed up by Jocelyn back behind the net. Gets it over towards Carmen. Carmen up the near side wall. Bounces it in towards center ice. Picked up at the blue line by Livonia. Livonia sends it in down deep. Don't know how that's not an icing. Alexa grabs it in the far side corner, sends it up towards Gia. Gia kicks it out of the zone. Rookie picks up the puck. Rookie walking it in. Takes the shot, gets tipped, goes above the net and over to the far side wall. Jess trying to stop it. Alexa grabs it. Retreats back a little bit. Gets it over towards Bus. Bus pushing it forward towards Maddie. Taken away by Livonia. Back to the blue line. Alexa got a hooking penalty coming up on the Hawks. On Maddie. Kendall at the dot with Sizzle, Bus, and Alexa. Bus sends it up the wall. Caden tips it to the Kendall tips it to the top of the circle. Down low, around the near side wall. Can't get the puck through traffic. Comes back over the near side hash marks. Drops it back up to the point. Shot goes through traffic. Tipped. Grabbed up by Kendall. Emily reaches down, covers it up, stops the clock at 6:50. 1:07 left on the penalty. Greta comes out, Bus comes off. Kendall at the dot still. Greta pushes it up top, goes through the slot. Livonia has a difficult time. Back up to the near side point. Back down behind the goal line. Greta pushes her against the wall. Bottom of the circle tipped away by Alexa. Up and out of the zone. Going all the way down. Back behind the net for Livonia. They lose the handle of it at the bottom of the circle. Brownie keeps it in the zone. Gets it down low to Philly. Philly wants it in, puts it in the back of the net. Going to 30. Still got 29 seconds left on the penalty. Livonia wins this one back. Got an interference. Offsetting penalties. Still 5-on-4. Philly takes the face-off. Pushed forward by Caden. Caden shadows the blue line. Philly with the puck, trying to go down low. Ends up coming out of the zone. Carmen over towards Joss. Joss up the wall and into the zone. Livonia grabs it behind the net. We got 5 seconds left on the penalty. Penalty's over. It's 4-on-4 now. Joss in the far side corner. Oh, I'm sorry. Back to 5-on-5. Dead puck in the corner. Hawks go for a line change. Maddie back at the dot, gets it over to Bus. Bus chips it up the wall on the rush. Got Brookie in the middle. Bus takes the shot, goes off the far side post. Picked back up by Brookie. Brookie sends it back up to Maddie at the blue line. Back to Maddie again. Top of the circle, can't get the puck through traffic. Bus drew a penalty. Emily got over to the bench just as Livonia touched the puck. Hawks going on the power play here at 4:56. Got Maddie coming to the dot. Rookie to the far side, Jess to the near side. Wins it over to the far side wall. Alexa gathers it, gets it over to Bus, top of the slot. Bus winds up, keeps it in, puts a knuckler down, gets tipped back behind the goal line. Rookie picks it up. Circles, try to get a pass off towards Jess. Jess in the heavy traffic, picked up by Maddie. Maddie takes a shot just over the top of the net. Bus battles at the near side hash marks, keeps it down low, picked up by Brookie. Brookie centering pass gets tipped and back over to the far side corner, corralled up by Maddie. Spins around, dusts it off, puts it off, and in the back of the net there by Brookie.
Way to go, Brooke!
Served up by Maddie. Taking advantage of that power play. Back to 5-on-5 here at 4:20 to go. Tater Jumpy comes to the dot. Mango trying to grab that puck, kicked away. Ends up going back down deep, picked up by Carmen. Carmen loses the handle of it in the slot, blown tire, goes over to the far side corner. Picked up by Greta, gets it over towards Tater. Tater kicks it out of the zone. Back in through center ice. Livonia trying to push it through a pile of snow. Delayed offside. Livonia with it at center ice, pushing it through the middle. Back over here to the near side. Trip over by Mango. Livonia to the power play at 3:51. No argument by Mango as she walks over and makes her way into the penalty box. Philly at the dot. Pushed forward, grabbed up by Kendall. Sends it off the boards into Livonia zone. Up the wall, picked up by Philly. Philly dusted it off, gets it over to Carmen. Carmen loses the handle of it, picked up by Livonia. Livonia sends it over to center ice, picked up. Coming across the blue line, drops it at the blue line for the point. In the far side corner, back behind the net, over to the near side. Got 1 minute left on the penalty. Puck goes across the bow, picked up by Kendall. Sends it down deep on net, so goalie has to play it. Puck ends up coming all the way back down. That's an icing. Icing on the power play is not your friend. Caden going to take this face off. Comes up the near side wall. Alexa carries it down behind the goal line. Caden picks the puck up, trying to carry it through traffic. Livonia comes away with, or tried to come away with it. Ends up getting it back into center ice. Stopped by Bus. Sizzle drops it in. 20 seconds to go on the penalty kill. Back behind the net. Sizzle putting some pressure. Buries it up. Kills off some more time. Ends up going up that far side wall. Corralled up by Livonia. Puts it through center ice. Poke check there by Alexa. Walking it in. Off the far side post. Rebound. Gets deflected and goes off the glass back behind Emily. Penalty's over. Back to 5-on-5. Puck going through traffic. Livonia puts it in over the shoulder. Demi comes to the dot. We got 2:13 to go here, 4-1. Livonia up the far side wall. Carries it across the blue line. Brownie kicks it out of the zone. Gathered up by Livonia. Livonia comes into your living room. Drops it in down low. Picked up by Greta. Greta sends it off the wall up towards Brownie, but Demi picks it up. Going to go through center ice. Dust it off around one. Can't get it through a couple of boots, picked up by Livonia, carried into the zone. Brownie with a nice poke check, goes into the corner. Brownie's going to go to the box. Picked up by Demi, and Brownie makes her way to the sin bin. 1:35 here to go. Sent out and deep by Greta. Picked up by the goalie. Good pressure there by Jess. Off the post, underneath the goalie. Wow, nice job there by Jess. Nope, went off the post and back underneath the goalie. Excuse me. Up the near side wall. Stopped there by Carmen. Goes down low to off the boards, out of the zone. Tipped away by Maddie. Gathered up, sent down on net. Goalie reaches down, covers it up. Stopping the clock at 1:03. Got Maddie, Jess, Alexa, and Bus. Goes over to the far side wall. Good pressure there by Maddie. Keeps the puck in the zone. Livonia comes back into center ice. Ends up dumping it in down low. No icing being called. Alexa tips it. Picked up by Livonia. Livonia sends it up to their top of the circle. Goes across the bow over to the near side wall. Down on traffic. Picked up by Alexa. Alexa sends it out. And they go all the way back down to the trapezoid. Stopped by the goalie for Livonia. Coming up that far side. Kept in the zone by Alexa. Right! Kendall making her way to the dot. Pushed it forward into the Livonia zone. Takes a funky bounce.
Good job.
Livonia can't get it across the blue line. Picked up by Kendall. Kendall's going to carry it across the blue line. Goes through some traffic. Carries it down low. Killing off some time. Penalty's over. And that is the end of your game. Hope you enjoyed the outcome as much as the broadcast. Frank, the announcer, signing off from between the blue lines. We're back at 4:20 this afternoon for our second game of the day, quarterfinal matchup. We'll be back later.